So each time you see us, we have a new trick. So what's the new trick this time?
This time we're going to talk about parallelograms.
Parallelograms, that sounds pretty complicated, huh? But
no, not at all.
Not with the Accuquilt. Okay, so we need to have 3 different dies.
Yes.
First, we need to have
we have the 2,
the
5, and the 7.
2 squares.
That's correct.
5, and that's
the half square triangles.
Half square triangles, and the 7 for the parallelogram. Okay, so take a look at the block. It's called Trellis, and it really does look like a trellis here. It looks as beautiful as a summer garden with the oranges. Actually, I just couldn't wait to put the oranges in there so we could see how it looks with our beautiful lattice. So this is easy. 2 pinks in the corners, 2 oranges in the corners, and then I just did this part first. You actually have to do this before you do the little parallelograms on the 4 sides. And of course, I swirled it nice and flat. Okay, so this is the tricky part. So we have 4 greens, but you have to do 2 and 2. You need to have first, oops, actually they would just be right sides together, but I'll explain it. 2 right side up and 2 wrong side up. So you can actually cut a stack of 4, but you have to do half and half.
Right. And
so,
why is that?
It's just to make us crazy.
Right.
It's because they're mirror image pieces. You see, I forgot when I made this one. So look what I had left over, and I had to redo. This will only go, doesn't go that way. It will only go, let me see. It will only go this way.
Yes, yes.
But I'm making 2 blocks, fortunately. So I'm going to put the trellis, just line it up, keep the straight of the grain straight with the sides. Just make sure you cover up your points. It's kind of a tricky one because you can easily chop this too small. Okay, is that good?
That looks good. And I have a mat right here, and I can run that die through the Go Big.
Okay, and I want to cut my triangles at the same time.
All right, so we need number 5.
Number 5.
There you go.
So there's 2 oversized pieces. They're just like this. See, the grain is definitely going that way. Okay, so we can just fold those in half, get them all lined up, and you're going to have 8, and you're going to do them together.
All right.
That's what I really like, so I can just kind of sit down and get ready. Okay. So this is the first die that I remember with the Accuquilt that actually has these little tips hanging out on the end. See the little tip right here? So you really are going to have to take your scissors and cut those off. This is what we can collect for the wedding, huh? That would be really good.
Yes.
Okay, so we've got 2 stacks here. I'm just going to put them out like that.
And then there's your parallelograms.
Okay, our parallelograms. So let's just take, and if we put it like this, then we can put the triangles here like this and like this.
Right.
Is that right?
That's right. And then
yeah, let me check. Okay.
That's right.
It's right. You just have to make sure. Okay, and so then that's a second stack. Okay, it didn't look right. So this is the way we're going to put our triangles on like this right here. And then the second one, we're just going to put them like this.
Right. It's a little tricky because because you have the dog ears on the parallelogram and not on the.
It is different.
Right.
Okay, but I think that we have it. We're ready to shoot. Okay, so let's just take one of them. We have too many on the table to look at. Let's just take this one, and we're just going to flip it right sides together. And actually, usually you have 2 dog ears to match up, but on this one, you only have 1. You have this right here, so we're just going to slide that down, match that up, but on the top one, they don't line up. You've got that tip that I just cut off hanging out on the top, right? Got it.
That's right.
Okay, so let's get it all straight here. Not hard to do. You just have to figure out which direction you're going. Okay, it's still that same 1/4 inch seam. Whoop, it would be really good if you didn't just literally put that fold right in the middle, right in the center. Let us get that straightened out. Okay, down. All right, so I'm just gonna sew one with that 1/4 inch seam, cut the threads, and then just turn it around, and right here, we're just gonna press it open. Press it over to the background. And I'll just let you press it down just a second. Okay, now the second side, you just turn it over. When you flip it together, you only have one to line up, one dog ear to line up, and one tip hanging out. We got tips hanging out today. And I think this is the first time on the Accuquilt die that I've actually seen that. You think that's the only one that you've ever done?
It's one of the few that
it's
has
one
that
of
has
the
that.
few that has that. Okay, so let's line it up. Get it right across there. Cut the threads. Okay, set the seam and just look and turn it over.
Right, looks great.
Perfect, perfect.
Would you like me to press that for you?
Okay, so that's the opposite. So now I'm going to take this one because it's the same, right?
Yes.
You press,
Okay.
and you can talk, and you can tell all about it while I am doing the second one.
Okay.
How do you like that iron?
I like it.
I know, I
Oh,
love
wow.
it. I love it. Okay, so that's one.
So I think it's helpful that you have that one dog ear to line up.
Exactly.
Gives you a guide.
You do have to have that. You really do. That's the only way. Because it's really hard to judge when you don't have dog ears. You have to like measure in like a little bit more than a 1/4. It's almost like 3/8 that you have to do that. Okay, let me see.
Okay.
You want to cut your cut your tip off?
Gotta cut the tips off.
Oh, I don't know if you can do it with that tool. Oh, she's got scissors.
I've got my little scissors.
She's got scissors. Okay. So I went a little crooked, but don't show anybody. Okay. Okay, so now, this is what we have here. Let's lay out our block. Okay, so we're going to take our center, put it right here, and get the parallelograms at the sides like this. We need to have our pink corners on opposite corners here. And we're going to put orange. How am I doing, Lynn? Am I getting it right?
It looks great.
Oh, good. And then we've got 2 more parallelograms that go right along here like that.
There you go.
And I see our trellis.